Hamza Yusuf. He is the one who peddles this narrative for the Muslims about Jews, Christianity, the religious and the political narrative of them. They tell us, this guy, Hamza Yusuf, he and his team, what we should as Muslims understand about Judaism and how they are behaving, especially in the Middle Eastern countries. For example, establishing or building the third temple and things like that. Let's take a listen at this recent interview that he gave to Kim Iverson.
Really difficult time.
That the Jews want to build their third temple, right? That's what the site where they believe.
A segment of the Jews.
Okay.
A segment
So-
of the Jews. So not all the Jews believe that. Like I actually had a conversation in Rome at a conference that I was in with the man who was in charge, the Israeli who was actually in charge of taking care of the Israeli side of that, like the wall. And most of the rabbis traditionally said Jews aren't supposed to go onto the Temple Mount,
Right.
because that was an Orthodox position. But there are segments within the community, and these again are the more extreme segments that don't seem to be bothered by that injunction, because the holiest of the holies is identified by the Messiah. And so there are some that say the temple can't be rebuilt until the Messiah comes back. There's another minority belief that says, no, we build the temple and then the Messiah comes. And I think Christian Zionists and Christian Zionism really for Catholics and Orthodox Christians is a heresy, because Christ himself declared himself the temple. So the temple was already raised.
Is there a way for them to
But again,
share? I mean, is it possible to share that spot and let them build a temple and still have a mosque?
There's quite a bit of space on the actual Temple Mount, and the two mosques are there, but I don't think those extremists do not want to share. I would, that would be something where the Muslim scholars of that area would have to see what arrangements could be made. I mean, these troubles have been going on really since probably 1913. I mean, 1882, I think, was the beginning of the Aliyah.
But just to give you some idea what he's talking about, he's basically talking about there is enough space on Temple Mount for all of this to exist, to coexist. Means the third temple can be built if they want to. As he said, one segment of the Jew community, they want that third temple to be built. And he is also saying that if Christians, they want to have their sepulcher there, they can go there worship, and the Muslims can also go there at the same time. If you take a look at the rulings of the Islamic scholars, all of them, they have this consensus that any time Masjid Al-Aqsa, Al-Quds, is being conquered or being taken over by a non-Muslim, by a non-believer nation or a group, you must fight them. In our current situation, it would be very nice if we could get along with the Jew and the Christian and join hand in hand for peace and security. But if you take a look at what is happening right now, it is going on for a very long time. The oppression is very, very evident and very, very clear. Just last week, the Zionist regime, they prevented the Muslims from entering into Masjid Al-Aqsa. There was no Friday prayer, in other words. This is going on for a very long time. So if we agree with Hamza Yusuf that yes, we can go get along with the other religious groups as he is supposing, actually this is his supposition, then you will see there is oppression. Therefore, it is concluded in the Quran and Sunnah that there can never be peace any time Muslims are under the control of the non-believers in Al-Quds. And this is, you can just Google it. Every single day there is a violation going on of Masjid Al-Aqsa. They are now talking about destroying Masjid Al-Aqsa and build the third temple. The segment he referred as ultra-Orthodox, they are trying to destroy Masjid Al-Aqsa. Now, why he is saying that? Why Hamza Yusuf is talking about getting along with other religious groups and leave in peace and to have no problem if they are ruling over us. The reason for that is because he is somebody who is actually a U.S. agent. He worked for Bush, then he worked for Trump, and he is going to be, who knows, working for even Biden. I don't know. But he is somebody who is an agent of U.S. government. So where he's coming from, if you take a look, it is quite evident that he's not going to be talking about Islam. He's going to be talking about for all, especially for the Jew. Otherwise, obviously, he's not going to get those status. He's not going to be named and famed if he takes Islamic standpoint. So he doesn't do that. Now he's saying, obviously, that we should have Temple Mount, we should have all of this, religious institutions there, and we can live side by side because there is enough space. Now he referred a group as extremist. Was he referring to the Muslims or the Jew? I don't know. But then he said the Muslim scholar in that area are the one to decide whether they want or how they want to arrange the prayers and all that. Absolutely sell out.
But they've just been increasing over time. So 36 became very serious. I mean, you had riots at the Temple Mount over the Wailing Wall.
And then he will go on to talk more about what happened in the past. But what he will fail to deliver is unequivocal statement condemning what Israel is doing, condemning what the Jews are doing there, the Zionists, what they're doing there. He will never condemn them at all. Rather, he will always, as I said, he thinks in his head his job is to promote coexistence. His job is to speak for the Muslims in regards to how they should live side by side with the Jew and all that. Now he was criticized. Actually, there was a report came on Al Jazeera, and this guy Mike Pompeo, if you remember him, he's from Trump administration. They hired him for human rights counseling or committee. So he said, this is where I want you to read. However, a select few, however, have chosen to go against the best interests of their communities and help perpetuate human rights abuses against Muslims in U.S. and abroad. So basically, this guy, Hamza Yusuf, he took part with the government, the U.S. government, during Trump's time, where we have seen human rights violation was taking place all over the world under Trump, his leadership. And Trump wanted him or appointed him to be one of the people in the committee who will be giving Trump advice, nasiha, what we call in Arabic. Of course, this guy failed again and again to help the Muslim communities, as this report is suggesting, to come to a solution of this Islamophobic attacks in U.S. and elsewhere. He was instead helping Trump to understand what the situation was and interpreting for him how Muslims feel, instead of giving the Muslims a voice, a strong voice against Islamophobia. We know Donald Trump, he came and banned those 5 Muslim countries. If you remember, he did not condemn that action by Donald Trump. So Hamza Yusuf is not for the Muslims at all. He is there for his own benefit and try to advance his motives, his interests. This guy, he wants power. He wants name, fame, popularity, and he doesn't care about the Muslims. Now, why he's doing this? Well, obviously, as I said, because of popularity. Number 2 is his Aqidah. This guy is a big-time Sufi, looks like, and there is this video that says the Sufi Shaitan Hamza Yusuf chanting major shirk. This is Hamza Yusuf sitting with this guy. His name is, I think, Jeffrey. He is a big-time Sufi, somebody who practices shirk. Habib Ali Jeffrey, this is his name. The mushrik shaitan of Hamza Yusuf, crying crocodile tears. So again, this is his Aqidah. This is Hamza Yusuf's Aqidah. He believes that all religions should coexist at the expense of Islam, and especially at the expense of Masjid Al-Aqsa, that Muslims should really forget about their rights and not to fight if they have to give up their rights and forget about their traditional ruling. I mean, the Muslims by tradition, and traditionally I should say, they are always saying that Masjid Al-Aqsa must be liberated from the non-believers because they are mushrikun. These people, the Jew, the Christian, essentially they are mushrik, even though they claim to be monotheistic religion. But Hamza Yusuf goes against that policy, and he creates this new narrative where he is asking the Muslims to coexist and forget about conquering the land of Al-Quds. And so, brothers and sisters, we need to be very, very aware of this shuyukh. And Rasulullah, he said that what I fear for you, for my ummah, is the misguided imam. So obviously he is an imam in the Muslim community. He is well known in Muslim communities in the US. That's why we need to be extra careful.